Today, the last piece of the puzzle is our rear view camera.
How are we? He's so cute. He's so cute. Yes, he is.
Hey, today we're gonna go ahead and finish up our installation of the Jetta car radio. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be installing the rear view camera today. I went ahead and ordered one. It was about $20 on Amazon, and it just supposedly plugs and plays. So we're gonna see how easy this is. I'm gonna take you through that process. Here we go. I've already showed you guys how to install the main piece itself. So today what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be installing the rear view camera. I'm gonna go ahead and start taking this part right off here, and then we're gonna run the wire back to the back. We're gonna also find our power source. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the wire directly from the car radio to make sure that it's in working shape. After we're all done making sure that everything works, then I'll run the wire through the car. There are two bolts that we're gonna have to remove, one on each side of these panels. It's that same Torx 20 bit that we used on the radio. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this one now. So underneath this, there's two little clips right here. And so what you have to do is you just get underneath them and then just pull them out, pry them out like these guys right here. You just pull the rest of this down. It's got these little clips right here. So there's our camera wire running through here. There was a little plug right here that snipped into this one right under the trunk. There's a little blue guy here for our camera. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and tap into these guys and figure out which one's our power source. All right, so you went ahead and tested it and figured out that this blue wire right here, this blue wire coming out of this plug, which is the same cable that's running here with your video, that blue wire is your power source. So we're gonna go ahead and feed into that one. I'm gonna go ahead and split it up and go ahead and create a connection that way. These are the pieces that the new camera came with. Like I said, it was about 20 bucks. Have a nice little display right here. This is going to be your optical. It's going to go and plug into that one, I believe, your digital optical. And then I think we have to find the power source is what we're digging around from here. And then all of this is the piece that's going to fit into the back of our head unit. Let's go ahead and give it a whirl and see if we can find out where that power source is. Quick reminder, we already have our head unit installed. To get this one off is very simple. I usually just kind of grip it down here at the bottom. After you grip it down to the bottom, it should pull up pretty easily from right there. And then next, the only thing you need to do is remove with that same size 20 Torx bit, is to remove the 4 bolts that you see right here. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this is currently how I have my unit wired up. You can see that I have the primary plug here. You have your canvas right here, and then you have the antenna wired up in this way, and then you have everything plugged into here, and then you have your other little piece. Here's the back of our unit again. I think it's gonna plug into this right-hand one right here. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it and make sure that's it. Let's go ahead and plug this one into the left-hand side. All right, looks all nice and good. Let's try the back. Put you in reverse. We have a camera. Yes, sir. This is the back side in your trunk of your current camera. There are two 10mm bolts holding that in place. We're gonna go ahead and take those off and see if we can install the new camera, very similar to the old one. Went ahead and took everything apart. I wanted to show you guys just real quickly. There's a little latch right here. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this guy. Slide to the left. And then all we have is this last one right here. That is your camera. I figure I'm gonna go ahead and just take this camera out, the old camera, and then put the new one in. So I'm gonna go ahead and detach this. How you detach this is that there's a little push guy right here. And then once you push that down, those two pieces disconnect. Just to let you guys know, this was the hardest piece to crack apart, but I was able to yank the camera out of there. But it's got these little tabs right here, and it has this little chamber right here that you can flip up and down, but I wasn't able to pop that little pin off. So if anybody has any better suggestions about how to get this camera out without having to kind of crack open everything, I would sure appreciate it. But I'm gonna mount my camera. I wanted to give you guys a really good idea of how I installed the camera. I had a couple of pieces of foam, kind of like foam tape, and I wrapped around it some like black electrical tape. So because the camera itself just squeezes into there, but it needs a little bit of stability on the side, so I did that. That's how I wrapped it up. This looks really good. This is how I installed it. So I did, again, a couple pieces of foam, wrapped it around there, shoved it into the camera port, and then backed it up with that same foam tape. So that was the easiest way I did it. Then what I did is I closed everything down and put those little washers back onto the bolts, and then everything plugged back into the piece itself. So it all turned out very straightforward. It all looked really, really good. So that's how I did this one.
So cute. He's so cute. Yes, he is.
So this is what mine looks like. I wired it up through there. And I took this seam off right here, kind of ran it through there, through that area right there. And then, as you can see, this one's just coming out here right there, but kind of ran it through this area right here, all the way down. Then there's a little panel that I ran my wire through. You can see it up there. We went ahead and put the stereo back in. Looks good. We're all done. The hardest part about that was actually running the wire down through the door panels. It was pretty straightforward as far as coming underneath the glove box and then going into the back of the radio itself. The whole process probably took me about 2 hours, I want to say, somewhere in there, but we're all good to go.